Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So if you're new here, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into this video. So in this video, we're going to be going over why I think Tesla is still possibly a buy, but why I'm waiting until after the S&P 500 induction to actually re-enter. And when I break this down, by the end of the video, you're actually probably going to have a pretty good indication as to why I'm doing so, and why I'm kind of waiting here. I do believe in the short term, it is very possible for Tesla to run up to about $700 here. But I'm going to explain to you why I'm concerned. Most stocks, when they have a push up of this amount, 60%, end up having a very large pullback afterwards. Now, that might not happen with Tesla, but as I said before, the risk reward is kind of off for me here at the moment. Because I think there's a lot more downside than there is upside. Now, if you're talking about holding the next 5 years, absolutely, there's massive upside to Tesla, absolutely massive. But at the moment, we have a lot of what Tesla is going to be able to do in the next year or 2 years already priced into the stock. One person I follow in particular, who was one of the ultimate Tesla bulls, Financial Education, if you haven't checked him out yet, make sure you do so. But Jeremy basically said that this could very well be a dead money stock. And to be honest, I actually believe him. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second, that it's such a scary thing when something jumps up. Now, I cashed out somewhere around 630, most of my shares. And then I went ahead and cashed out again at like 610. So I cashed out twice on Tesla. But I'm going to explain to you here why it makes sense, why I pulled out, and more or less when I plan on re-entering. That's the important part of this video. So here's a perfect example of a hype stock, okay, that in the past couple weeks, well, literally the past week, got put into the stock market. Now, when something gets put into the stock market, it gets a massive amount of funding from investors, from people like us. And normally there's a bunch of hype around the stock. Now, Tesla got put into the S&P 500. Normally as I said, there's a lot of hype around the stock during that time. Now, take a look at this. Airbnb. It gets inducted, it shoots up to 152. No, I want to note this, guys. They already doubled their market cap of what they said was a good buy for this company, okay? Now, they wanted to come in somewhere around like $75 a share, and they ended up IPOing at like 140, something like that, 146. Yeah, they ended up IPOing at 146. My opinion was very rich. I personally was in at $95 to $100 because that's where I felt the risk reward was a good buy for me, okay? And as I said, normally when stocks IPO, they end up coming out, they end up skyrocketing for a little bit, and then they end up shooting down just because it's hype, okay? Hype is normally not sustainable, okay? Unless the company is just doing massive things, making massive waves, which I guarantee Tesla is doing, right? And that's why I do want to re-enter Tesla for the next, 5 years, possibly hold. But the thing is, I'm going to show you my concerns. So you would think that this is just an unusual thing, right? Oh, this just happened once. No, guys, pretty much every IPO that launches ends up doing a very similar pattern like Airbnb did here. And look, we're already down 12%. We could drop another 15 to 20%. And the thing is, when you buy or sell stocks, okay, a lot of the money that you make is on the buy, okay? You need to buy at a cheap price, okay? That's where literally half of your money is made. When you're buying a house, right, and you're flipping it with the intentions of making a profit, when you get the most equity out of the house is if you buy it for a good deal. That's when you make the most money, okay? And the stock market is exactly the same. When you buy something at a good deal, that's when you make most of your money. And I'm not saying Tesla is a terrible deal right now, but I'm telling you that in the past month, with it jumping up about 60%, I am no longer a possible investor for this company because it's just unfathomable for me, okay? And for other people, it may not be. But normally, as I said, this hype is not sustainable. Let's look at another company that just recently IPO'd, which is a very similar scenario to being inducted in the S&P 500. Yes, it's a little bit different, but you still have the same hype. You still have the same feel to the stock, right? DoorDash. IPO'd, hit $190, and now from previous highs, I mean, it's down like, what, 20%? Yeah, 20% plus. So literally this happens all the time, guys, all the time. And this is why I pulled out a lot of my Tesla position. And the reason I plan on re-entering later on is I do believe we're going to have a very massive pullback. And if we don't, that's 100% okay. Okay. If the stock is sustainable at that price, 100% okay. As I said, I pulled out at 630. So I'm not really losing something here. Like I lost all the risk, basically, is what I lost at the moment. So, and the thing is, when you're investing or trading, don't ever be afraid to pull profits. Like, if you feel uncomfortable in the stock at that current time, there's no shame in actually pulling profits. Now, if you're willing to hold a company for the next 10 years and you don't think it's going to make much of a difference, then that's fine. But Tesla is a position that I'm willing to hold for the next like 3 to 5 years, because I think that's when most of the growth is going to happen. So when it shot up 60%, that really throws off the holding 3 to 5 years. You know what I mean? In literally a week. And I think we're going to get another good buy on it. If we don't, we don't, right? If we don't, then it just sustains price. It sustains this level. That's perfectly fine with me as well. Because as I said, the volatility just got a little bit too much in my portfolio, in my opinion. So I'm not, I don't really like that volatile of stocks. And I've held Tesla for quite a while, actually since probably about $300 before stock split. And yeah, there's been a ton of volatility, but it's always been a smaller position in my portfolio. Well, recently it got up to about a 35% position or something, and I ended up pulling. So, but yeah, this is a very common thing. Now, I want to talk about Airbnb just a little bit more, but let's talk about this really quick. So Tesla on the 18th is the last day to really like buy it, I guess, and the 21st it gets inducted into the S&P 500. After the 21st. I will be considering re-entering as long as it's at a decent price. And I'm talking probably a week afterwards. I'm not talking like the day afterwards. I'm like, okay, let's jump in. No, I think we're going to see the pullback happen for about consistently a week. You're going to see all the short-term traders in that jack this price up 60%, and you're going to see the investors stay. Once the stock is more stable, and we have basically all the investors are just kind of sitting there, then I want to throw my money back in and kind of be holding long term. And I'm willing to hold, as I said, for the next like 3 to 5 years. I think this is a great company, and I think Elon Musk is going to make massive waves. But we did get news of them shutting down factories, and I believe it was for retooling, but they didn't really say. But that could definitely impact some deliveries here in the this late quarter. I do believe if they were concerned with hitting deliveries, that they probably wouldn't have issued a retooling at the moment. But one of my ideas is maybe they're pre-fixing a factory, right? Because that's basically what they're doing, to be able to produce higher levels of, Model Ys or something of that nature. And that could definitely be a reason why they're possibly doing this. But let's go ahead and let's go over to another stock that I'm very interested in, Airbnb. Okay. Okay, guys, this is Airbnb, and basically I plan on entering about the same exact place where I said before. I'm willing to enter Airbnb for around 100 to like $95 to $105, somewhere within there. If it goes lower and it touches down to 80, obviously I'll be buying pretty heavy. I am a long-term believer in Airbnb. I do believe that vacation and travel is very weak right now, and it's at an evaluation that's high, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. I do know that in the next 5 years, they're going to be doing big things. But in my opinion, that's just how I see it. I think it's high. Um, all of vacation and all of travel is kind of hit hard at the moment. And I do think that having an evaluation this high when we're in the middle of a pandemic or whatever you want to call it is definitely not the investment for me. I think if we were outside of the pandemic, it probably would have IPO'd around the same price. And that's not a good thing. That's not a deal, in my opinion. So just like at Tesla right now at a 640 when it just rose 60%, in my opinion, it's just not a good deal for me right now. And some other people may think that's a great deal because they're willing to hold for the next 10 years. And that's fantastic. If they believe in that vision for the next 10 years, that's great. I believe that most of the growth in Tesla is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. And I do believe that after that, it's going to be a lot slower burn. It's going to be a lot slower growth. Do I believe that they'll do big things? Absolutely. Do I believe that they'll be the largest car manufacturer ever? Probably. But do I believe that the market cap right now is slightly inflated? Yeah. I believe that we're inflated. I believe that we've priced in the next like 3 years already, and that kind of has me a little leery. We're sitting at like a 130 forward PE, I think, right at the moment, and that's a little high, a little rich for me. And I do believe that if we were to see some sort of pullback in 2021, which I am expecting, that one of the first stocks to really get hit are volatile stocks. And Tesla, I mean, is definitely a volatile stock. So it sways sometimes 10% up, 10% down. That's why a lot of people trade it, because it moves so heavy. But once it enters the S&P 500, I do believe that it's going to stop moving so heavy. The moves are going to stop getting so heavy because you're going to have this constant fund in it, right? You're going to have this constant extra $70 billion or so just sitting there. And I think that's going to slow down the trading activity and trading potential on Tesla. And it's going to become a little bit more stable. And that's more what I'm looking for in a stock. Okay. Now, I do put about 3 to 5% of my portfolio usually in spec stocks. Now, spec stocks, let me break down what a spec stock is. Spec stock is a stock where they really haven't made a ton of money yet, but they're a good company. They're a company that's addressing a large addressable market. They have a large possible potential audience, and it's a stock that has a lot of upside and very little downside. In spec stocks, you can lose 100% of your money. It's why I don't put a lot of money in spec stocks. It's usually 3 to 5%. But there are probably some spec stocks that I'd be willing to throw a heavier amount in than others. I'm looking at one currently, and I do have to bring this across to you guys because, in my opinion, I believe I found one. Once again, credits to Jeremy over at Financial Education for pointing this one out. But this is basically almost like a plant-based meat company. And if you didn't know before, I used to be in Beyond Meat for a while. I was actually trading that to the upside. It really didn't move much. And I really want to get into a company where I kind of get into it earlier on. Beyond Meat is very, very, I wouldn't say they're like the early adopters of plant-based food. And as much as I do believe they'll be the king of that, I don't have a ton of Beyond Meat in my portfolio anymore. But let's talk about Tattooed Chef. Okay, this is a company, $469 million market cap. it's a market cap that I'm very interested in getting because I think it could easily 2, 3, 4, 5x. It's a company with a very large addressable market because there's a lot of people interested in eating healthier right now and eating more or less food that is plant-based, meat that is more plant-based, and this has been a really big trend at the moment. Do I believe that this will continue throughout the future? Absolutely. I believe that plant-based meats will end up being a lot more relevant to our food groups. I think that a lot of these companies are going to end up merging with big brands, big companies, and I think you're going to see a lot of these companies like a Tattooed Chef end up leading the way for plant-based foods. Now, we're sitting here. This actually has a lot of volatility. This will only be about a 3% position in my opinion, but we're sitting here at about $19.89. We're sitting on a double top right now, it looks like, basically. Yep, about a double top. And this could either shoot up or shoot down here in its current state. I'm going to wait until this stock settles down here, hopefully within the next day or two. Gains, hopefully has a little bit of a pullback, probably into here. And if it starts an uptrend again, I will enter and hopefully trade it to the upside. This is a company that I could see holding for the long term, actually, because there is just a massive amount of upside to this company. Like the company, massive addressable market. The market is huge, right? Like who eats food? Everyone. Then you got to ask yourself, who's going to be eating it? Well, you have vegans, you have people interested in eating a healthier life, and there's a lot of different ways to look at it. So this is a company that I could see, doing well for the long term. On top of that, we just hit a previous channel, which was this, what is it, $15 level. So we have a support level there. Everything looks really good about this company and where the buy is. Currently, I'm just not interested in buying this high. I'd be more interested in buying like somewhere around here. And it stinks that I saw it a little bit late, but better late than never. And we're gonna watch this in the next upcoming week, and hopefully we can get a good entry on it. That is the goal at the end of the day. This is one that I just recently added to my watch list, and this is one that I'm going to be watching for a while here. Hopefully I'll get a position in, and we can trade this up to the $25, $27 level. And to be honest, I might end up holding a large chunk of this because there is such an upside. Look how small this market cap is, guys. 469 million. Very, very small market cap. But as I said, this is only going to be about a 3 to 5% position. We're not going crazy on this. And wanted to say I pulled some of my AAL this morning, American Airlines, on that trade. I want to say I pulled a like 2% gain. It was up 4% early in the morning, but I ended up missing some of that trade. Yeah, we gave a small gain on it. I expected a little bit more with the vaccine news. It just really didn't move it that much, and sometimes that's just what's going to happen. That's the name of the game. That's why trading is trading. Yeah, it didn't move. Like right here, I think I sold out somewhere around 955, so I sold out like a 2% gain, and that's just it for the day. It just was super flat. Our Qualcomm trade is up at the moment. This is one that I'm probably going to hold for a little bit yet. We'll be pulling out some of this position then once it hits around our take profit. But this is something that I could still see holding for a while yet, so I'm not super concerned. As I said, I mean, it 1.5% on the day. The support level here held, which I kind of expected because it held through here. So we had 2 retests, so I figured it was going to hold here. And I do think that we could see this possibly uptrend to probably somewhere in this 155 range. And at that point, I will consider probably selling a little bit and then holding the rest of the position. As I said, a lot of these swing trades are also long-term positions that I end up building. But I like to get a good buy on the stocks that I'm in. I like to have a good position on these stocks. Most of these stocks, I don't like getting a position where it's up 20% for the month. I don't like that. So when this retested this area, I was like, this is perfect. It's a perfect setup. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And we traded it perfectly straight to the upside. So great trade, guys. Anyways, guys, that's all for the day. And that's all pretty much for this video. I'll let you know and keep you updated on when I re-enter my Tesla position. As I said, it is looking like Tesla might end up holding this level, but nothing is completely certain until after the 21st. So after the 21st, maybe like 5 or 6 days afterwards, we'll wait until after the holidays. That's when I would consider possibly entering. And that would be, in my opinion, the best time to enter. And I could be wrong. I mean, the price could just skyrocket like 50% after the 21st. But I really don't think it's going to happen. I think a lot of what we've seen it move here in the past couple weeks, everything has been priced in. I think like we have a year, 2 years of good vehicle sales priced into Tesla. I think we have a year of really good deliveries priced into Tesla. I think Tesla is priced perfectly, and I do believe if they miss earnings, it will really, really hurt them. So do I think they're going to miss earnings? Probably not. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have shut down that factory right now. But the thing is, the thing that I'm concerned about, more or less, is kind of where the price is sitting at right now. How many traders are in Tesla currently? And that's an interesting thought. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did get some value out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button because look, guys, like 90% of you guys aren't subscribed. So hit the subscribe button. I'll wait. Anyways, guys, take care and see you guys in the next one.